This is Fano from An Hour with the Wolfpack, and this is my segment, Steppin' Out of Babylon. And pretty much just gonna be a long one. The last episode I shot was on the 13th, and today's date is April 26th. 2016. So has it been 30? See, well, I wouldn't count that day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, it's been 13 days. So I think the last episode I was talking about my eczema, and it kind of like made me a little depressed because I've been on like the diet, and I was thinking it was like this nut and seed butter, and I was looking up all these things, and I don't know, it's like when you look at any disease, they pretty much say it's like pretty much diet, this and that, like nothing's instant. So if it is something, it still takes days upon days. So I was getting like on my feet and my hands and all this stuff. And the thing I didn't really realize is that I had ringworm on my wrist, which is just a fungus. And that was the first thing I had, and then it like turned into like an infection on my finger, and that turned into like eczema on both my hands and my feet, which are also funguses. So basically I thought I was like, oh man, I'm probably stressing myself out, because a lot of stuff they say is like stress, and some stuff say like, whoa, no, eczema doesn't come from stress. And I know about the immune system. If you get stressed out, then all your cells shut down. And so theoretically, eczema is an immune system problem. So theoretically, it could basically because you're stressed out. So I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to take like a vacation, stop shooting stuff. I'm going to drink, eat bad. I'm just going to like be a human being, or be like a genetically modified, a GMO human, pretty much. And so I did that pretty much since I stopped shooting. So like starting on the 14th and stuff. And because in my head I was just like thinking like, oh, like I never got it when I ate bad, and now I'm eating really good, and so basically I was just jumping to conclusions. And so after like 3 or 4 days, nothing really like cleared up, and I was like, well, fuck, it's not the stress, or it's not what I'm eating. It's still there. So I was doing like more and more research, and pretty much I found this one thing. It was like, oh, try different like soaks, like soak your feet or soak your hands and whatever. And then I think like I was reading like some eczema cream, or like I was watching some guy, he was all like, yo, use Arm and Hand or something's eczema cream. And anyway, so found one. I was looking at the ingredients, and I found what they normally use. And there's basically like a couple plants and oils that are in like a majority of like eczema creams, or just stuff that fix eczema. So pretty much I started doing a baking soda with lavender oil soaks for my hands and feet for about 20 minutes. And that was helping. And then I found out that I don't know, it's called jojube oil, or jujube, or it's jojoba oil. But anyways, this thing is like in all like eczema stuff and stuff you find online. It's like, oh yeah, just use the oil. So I was like, I'm just gonna try it. And it's funny at Sprouts I found like a natural no steroid cream eczema cream thing. And I was gonna get that, but I was like, well, let me just try this oil and see if it works, and then I'll try. And I bought like a bath salt, I don't know, like mixed with like lavender and stuff. So I was like, I'll just use those as a soak. Anyways, so I started using the oil. Literally, that freaking helped within like 2 days. Majority of the stuff started scabbing up and healing. Plus, I was doing the soaks. But what I really realized that it was this what the hell, ringworm on my wrist. That was the main problem, and really what I had to do was just fix that. And so when I realized I had ringworm, I was researching, well, what is ringworm and how do you get it? And literally, you can get ringworm from pretty much any fucking thing. It's like you get it from the soil, you can get it from another human, you can get it from an animal. And I'm like, fuck, well, I garden, I work with animals, and I come in contact with humans. So I could have literally got anywhere. But now that I thought about it, I realized that I had that ringworm for like probably like 2-3 weeks. And I go through these things where I'm just like, oh, I'm letting my body fight it. And that was probably stupid because it turned into like an infection on my finger, then into like eczema. So really all I do is just deal with the ringworm by buying a couple different oils and doing like some soaks. So anyways, I just recently did that. I think it was like this last weekend or the weekend. I don't know, it's pretty recent. So the ringworm's not fully gone, but it's like half gone. The eczema is like it's there, but all of it's healing up and going away, and all the stuff on my feet went away. I don't know. It could also be a combination of like drinking whatever and eating bad. But what I realized about all that stuff is just how addicting like alcohol is, and the realization of like it's pretty addicting. Like you drink it one day, and the next day you're like, I'm not gonna drink. But then like you drink, at least for me, and I can see why 11s are not supposed to drink because it's just so. I don't know. Like if life wasn't that stressful in general, I mean drinking wouldn't be that bad. But so then I was like contemplating, like, well, maybe I shouldn't be so hard on myself and just say like, oh, I'll stick on the diet, but if I want to like socialize and have a drink like on a Friday, just like once a week, then I'll do it. But the thing is, I was drinking pretty much every day. I mean, nothing like crazy. Like I'd have like 3 beers or some wine or something. And what I really realized is like, I went through all these days not doing this, and then I basically get a fungus and I didn't really identify it right, and I jumped to conclusions, and then it spread, and then I got into like, I guess like a depression, but not really realizing what I was doing and blaming like my diet, and really my diet. I mean, the thing is like, I don't know, it could have been the diet, because a lot of stuff I read online too said that if you have a really, really strong immune system, then you don't get eczema, or you don't get funguses. So then, in theory, I guess probably my immune system on that diet wasn't as strong as it could be. So maybe I do have to like modify it. And so I was thinking about like, well, maybe what I can do is, I don't know, like maybe kind of go back. Maybe I'm thinking like maybe I should just eat any like organic local meat, have any type of raw dairy that I want. Still stay away from man-made sugar. Because the thing I do realize, like, I lost a lot of weight. And I look more like what I want to look like versus when I ate bad and drinking shit. So, and as far as drinking, it's like, I feel like I don't, like, want to really drink. It's more like drinking is more like an addiction. Like I just feel like I'm feeding something in a sense. And even people that like want to socialize through drinking, it's really not like I don't know. Like I enjoy drinking sometimes, and I'm not gonna really like, stress myself out about not drinking. But the real reason why I caved back in is because I thought my diet was creating stress that all the stuff. But really, I mean, it could have made my immune system weak, and I got a ringworm or fungus. But I could just put oils and creams and soaks and shit, and would have went away. So I don't know. It's just I was being human, and I pretty much went back into Babylon versus stepping out of Babylon. So then I just in my mind I was like, well, I'll just consider it like a little vacation that I went on for 13 days. So this would make technically this is let's see, the last day was 83, so this is day 96. So I mean, I don't know, that's life. It's like you're never going to be like 100% perfect, and then you might jump to conclusions and shit. But that's why it also made me realize how deadly going to the doctor is, cuz I was kind of even thinking about that, but I was like, that's stupid because I know they're just going to give me a strawberry cream like they used to give me, and then it would go away. But, anything that you have on the skin is an internal problem. And so I'd also find it weird, though. It's like by using these oils and soaks, like that helps fix it, but am I still like internally like sick? And the other thing I found out too is how like a lot of eczema has to do with like bad immune system or leaky gut or yada yada yada. But what I really do think about, since it went into like stages, I think I just got a fungus and my body couldn't deal with it and it needed like help. That's why I isolated into the skin. And I could have put like different stuff like tea tree oil and all sorts of things to help heal it, but I ignored it and didn't help my body. Or didn't realize I'd eat, I don't know, really super intense, nutritious things. Which also a thing I decided I was gonna do is like I was having frozen fruit a lot, and I think I'm cutting that out. I'm kind of cutting my fruit to its bare minimum. I think I was eating like too much fruit too. But the thing also could have been the nut and seed butter, because they say a lot of eczema you can have these outbreaks from it gets triggered by something you eat. And I just noticed I ate a lot of that nut and seed butter for I don't know, for a good few weeks. So, I don't know. It's like, I feel a little bit disappointed because I feel like I let myself down. But at the same time, it's like, I'm human. Shit happens. It's not about. I was listening to my motivation tapes today, and it's just like, it's not about beating yourself up when you're always trying to do something new. It's about falling down and getting back up. And I think that's my thing. It's like I'm being too hard on myself, and I just gotta just like be like, whatever, pick it back up and start again. And now like I gained experience that like if this shit happens again, I just have to use different oils, use different soaks. And I learned a good thing too. Like I learned like this oil is really good for your hair. This oil is very good for your skin and stuff. It's in like a natural oil. It's called jujube or jujube ba jojoba oil, whatever. But that shit's really good for you. So, I'm adding to like my oils that I use now. And then I learned about the bath salts and how good that is for your skin and healing stuff. So now I'm gonna start doing like at least one a week, because they say it's a good detox. Once a week, do a bath salt bath. So that's like through misery you learn things. Like I'm not dead. I'm not, and like that's the thing too. Like I never felt like I was sick. I just like had this outbreak, and it was frustrating because fucking eczema is pretty goddamn gross. And even right now, like I still kind of got that like little patches, and everything's still kind of healing up. So my shit don't look like completely like back to normal, but whatever. I'm like getting there to that point again. And that's life. Like your body heals and it fixes itself and you just gotta help it out sometimes. And do what you feel is right for you. Uh my reality is like I like eating just organic meat. I like eating organic veggies. I like fruit. I mean, I'm not really hardcore about fruit. Like, I can do with just like an orange or a banana or something. I mean, I like veggies. So I'm just gonna stick on like eating healthy and like I didn't pack on that much weight from doing all that shit. So I'm still gonna stick to like really like no man-made sugar because that shit's like the man-made sugar stuff. It's just all of it's so pointless, like bread and pizza and pastas. Cause all of it's just like I don't know, like I realize like I'm not eating anything. Like it's all kind of just bullshit, and I'm just kind of over it. But the struggle in Babylon is still like very very hard because every day you have to kind of accept what stuff is and every day go from that point. Like throughout my life, I realized that life never gets easy. It's just like stuff can just be like normal and okay for the day, and if some shit happens, then you have to adapt. If that's like financial, mental, physical, and it's like you're constantly like in a wave and just gotta keep moving and moving and moving and it's fine. Like the end result is just the wave ends. So you're just going along on some like ride, and that's what it is. But so yeah, so I probably have probably like another week or so or more of my hands healing. But then the cool thing I also looked up is how there is like different eczemas, and mine was only on like the hands and feet, and I only remember I only ever got it when I did have like a couple outbreaks through my life. That it's only been on my hands and feet. And a lot of people that have it bad, they have it like all over their body. And what I learned through health on one video I was watching that I don't think I do with eczema, but is I think it was talking like diabetics and how like when you're really sick and you don't like deal with your diabetes, like your body will lose its hands and its feet versus your vital organs to like live. And I don't know if that for me, I feel like since I didn't get like I don't have eczema like all over my body and shit, that my body's a little bit healthy because it's at least isolating the parts that I really don't need. Even though I use my hands and feet a lot for what I do, but uh, yeah, it's just like that. Shit happens, and it's probably because my immune system is not that strong, but made me question a lot, like why is my immune system not that strong? Because I didn't have it. I mean, I haven't had an outbreak since I was probably like 17, 18. And when I did then, I don't know, I ate a lot of bad food, but I don't even think like a year ago I was eating like that clean of food versus what I was eating now. So I mean, maybe eating some bad food kind of helps with your overall intake. Another thing I'm waiting on, I took a DNA test, and so I've been waiting for the results of that because I want to figure out like what I am, and I'm gonna like figure out each part of what's in my DNA and figure out what they ate or eating or whatever eat in their culture, and I'm gonna make a diet just literally based off of what I am. So I think once I get that information, I can figure out better what's the best way to make my immune system as awesome as possible versus just like eating. I know eating organic meat, organic dairy, fruits and veggies is the way to do it, but I guess I gotta figure out what's the proportions and what else might I be missing that I can add into the diet to make my immune system a lot more hardcore. Because when I was born, I was a 12-pound baby, and I don't know if I brought up last time, but supposedly if you're born that much weight, like your mother was like diabetic when she had you, knowing or not knowing. And if that's true, then I was pretty much sick since I was a baby, or my immune system has been compromised. And knowing about GMOs and all that stuff, we're all pretty much had compromised immune systems, unless your parents ate really, really clean, or in their parents ate really clean. Like, we don't really have that good of genetics. So, in other words, I just gotta work really, really hard. But I think the first step is figuring out what I am, as close to what I can figure out, then base my whole diet off of that. Even though I'm mixed with probably like, I don't know yet, but at least now I'm mixed with 4 things plus. So we'll find out. And it could be stress too. I mean, you know, stress has a big issue on your immune system. And so I thought about that too. I was like, maybe I've been stressing myself out and not like meditating or taking a lot of time for myself. I've been kind of just like ingested into like a diet and my job and all this shit, and not really having an outlet to let go of some of the energy. And I don't know, I just don't believe in depression and stuff, but I believe that I should be making times for myself. And uh, you know, the thing, well, I guess what I find it so interesting is like at the time, I freaked out about a skin problem that I figured out how to fix while going back into Babylon. So it's like the answer was always there. I wasn't just, I wasn't looking hard enough. I was like just freaking out. So, that's just kind of life, shit happens like that. And, anyways, it's just about moving forward and being stronger and all this stuff. But I don't really miss the whole. Well, drinking and eating bad made me feel each morning versus like the more the morning feelings. Like you always feel like kind of like a little sick, or I don't know. For at least for me, like my stomach always felt like kind of, I don't know, not fulfilled. And then after I ate like the stuff I was supposed to eat today, I'd feel a bit better. Once I started drinking again or eating bad, I'd feel kind of shitty again after a while. So it really makes you kind of just wish that like maybe I could live in a community that everyone ate good and everyone did all these good things and lived that lifestyle and were happy. But I don't know, everyone's high all day off of sugars, off of drugs, off of realities, and everyone's just like trying to make it and be happy. And I don't know. I guess I just want better, and I do overwhelm myself. So I think I do need to like meditate at least an hour a day or so, at least half an hour, to kind of go back and be humble and let stuff go. Because I think I just overdo it, and when I did those majority additional days, 83 days or whatever, I don't know. I meditated a couple of days, but I think every day I was just kind of overwhelming myself and not really being like too productive, and just kind of focusing on a diet that, it's hard because you're switching bugs inside of you, and you're still dealing with the day to day, and you're still dealing with other people's bugs, and it is overwhelming. But, I went in Babylon. I'm coming out of Babylon stronger and realizing I have to work even harder. And I have to make a lot of time for myself and not just talk about making time for myself. So, stepping forward from today on, what's my diet like? I think at this point it's just going to be organic local meat, organic raw dairy, and organic local veggies, a little bit of fruits, and a little bit of seeds and nuts. and go from there. And if I want some grains, I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna switch my segment not to be on diet so much anymore. I'll talk about my diet a little bit. I mean, I don't really talk about the diet too much anyways lately, but I think my segment I'm gonna turn into pretty much just shit I go through being in the city, being in Babylon, working, doing stuff, interacting with people. I mean, dealing with diseases, dealing with skin issues, dealing with shit that occurs, and not even because I'm doing anything wrong. Like, I'm trying to do the best, cleanest diet as I can do. I'm trying to be like the best person I can be. And it's always not good enough. And it's just a very interesting, lifestyle that all I really want to do is hunt and reproduce and build a shelter. And I gotta do all this other shit. And it's like I don't even want to do it. I'm like it's like kind of like you're in a video game and you really don't. You're realizing you're in the video game. You really don't want to be in the video game no more. But there's really no way out, and you just gotta like play each level through and until you get to the end, and then you'll figure it out. But I don't know. It's like maybe life would be better if you had a lot more money, but I did have a lot of money at points in my life, and it just really made me sad that people have to live life not having everything they wanted. And so I guess when I don't have as much as I want, I feel like I'm equally as equal as they are. And I guess I'm saying like I do feel shitty when I have more than a lot of people because it's not fair. Like we all should be equal and have the equal amount of things and survive, you know? I mean, if you want to work harder, you should be able to do it. If you don't, then you shouldn't have to work hard just to live. But really what I'm saying is like I don't it's like if we should all be working together. There shouldn't be like a whole who does what or someone has more money. It's like if I want to go on vacation, I should be able to go on vacation for 2 weeks and go anywhere I want. And not have to pay for any of that stuff and just enjoy life and then go back and help out my community or my tribe or whatever. But I guess that's the cycle of life. It's like things work harder and then they're the survivors and the weak things die and it's just a struggle being a human because possibly you can live 100 plus years and you live 100 plus years of survival of the fittest with billions of people. And it's not like a lot of animals, like, a lot of insects or animals, I don't know, many insects interact with thousands of insects, but, a lot of mammals and things, they don't interact with thousands and thousands and thousands of mammals. They interact with, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, herd animals do, but I don't know. That's the thing that's so confusing about humans. It's like, what the fuck are we, and how many humans are we supposed to interact with, and what are we really supposed to do versus what we're doing now, or is what we're doing now what is real? So, I don't know. All I can say is that I'm going to focus a lot more on myself and I'm going to focus on just being centered and happy and having the cleanest source of diet. And once I know my genetics, I'll have even a cleaner source of diet that works for me. So I know like that, and this is Fano from Hour with the Wolfpack, and this is my segment Steppin' Out of Babylon. It is March 26, 2016. And I guess this would be day 96. And I hope everyone lives with love and compassion. Because if you don't love yourself, then you can't love anybody else. And I also want people to educate yourself and stay strong. And you know what? If you gotta cave in. But break out of that cave and go back into the light. It's okay to fall as long as you get back up. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. It's just life, you know. We're here to enjoy it. We're here to learn things, and we're here to keep moving. So, love yourself and love everyone around you.